Great. So Kabbage provides working capital to small businesses via an automated platform that delivers funding to them in about 7 minutes from the time they land on their site until there's actually cash in their account, depending on the type of account that they're using. We do this through connectivity to third-party verified data sources that allow us to confirm business information, things like revenue and identity, and allows us to deliver cash quickly with a limited amount, very little fraud, which is really exciting because we never meet our customers in person. The demo that I'm going to show you today is just a very quick walkthrough of the site. It's not in real time. I'm not using real data. So I'm going to just take you through the customer experience. The customer lands on the site. They sign up. They do that by providing us an email address and a password, and that's the beginning of their account creation. I'm not going to fill it all in. You get the idea. So our customers can tell us a little bit about themselves up front. They can tell us how they do business. Kabbage originally started serving online merchants because that's where the most data was readily available. Today we actually serve all merchants, all businesses, regardless of where they operate. They could be nail salons or dry cleaners or stores on Etsy or eBay. So the customer tells us a little bit about themselves. The demo that I'm taking you through today, the customer is going to start with adding their checking account. So this will likely be an offline business. Through Yodlee, we're able to get them to log in. They provide their credentials, and we get access to detailed information in their checking account. They provide their username and their password in addition to the routing and account number, which I'm not filling in here, for the purposes of expediency. And then now we have access to their checking account, and that's really important. We get access to historical information, not just validating that it's their account and the name on the account and the account number, but we're also validating the underlying transaction data so we can see information not only on what's coming into their account, but also what's going out, just like you'd see in a bank statement. They complete a short application. We collect personal and business information. We do collect the Social Security number of the business owner, and we do get a credit report. But it's a very short, simple application, as you can see. So now we're processing the data. It depends on what data source they've provided, how long it takes. It's usually just a few seconds. And based on that information, we've determined that this customer is qualified for $10,000. The customer at this point has two choices. They can either go to their they can get cash right now, or they can go to their dashboard, and they can add more data. So what's really important to our customers is the more data they add, the more access to capital they have. So they can come in, let's say they're an online merchant, they can come in and add online stores. They can also add more accounts. Perhaps they have merchant processing accounts that they use, so they can add those accounts here, or PayPal. They can add social networks, Facebook and Twitter, which seems like it may not be that useful, but it actually helps us measure their level of engagement with their customers, whether they're an online or an offline business. Or service providers. It could be accounting platforms. Xero should actually be on here too. It could be accounting platforms or Google or their shipping information with UPS. So now the customer is going to go ahead and get cash. They can take any amount. We're providing a permanent line. They can take any amount up to the line amount that we've provided, and they can take that as often as they want to up to the line amount. So this customer is going to go ahead and take $10,000, and they're going to transfer it to their checking account, confirming. Every time they take a loan from us, they agree to the terms of that loan, so we provide disclosures often. When it's ACH, it takes a couple of days for the funds to get there. When it's PayPal, obviously, it's instantly. And they go back to their dashboard, and you can see that they have $0 available. They can go in and look at their previous transactions. They can make payments. And that's most of what our customers can do. They can sign up, they can share data, they can take cash, and they can make payments. And that's it. Any questions? The question was, when they add more data, do we increase the line amount? And the answer is yes. And it is automated. So like social media, for example, it's incremental. I might provide them with an extra $500 or $1,000. But let's say they add a totally new channel where I can measure more revenue. Their line could go from $20,000 to $70,000 immediately. And I didn't show that in this demo, but that's exactly what happens. It's really any business. I mean, any business that would have a hard time, they would need less than a couple $100,000 from a bank, I would say, is our business. We have customers who are generating under $100,000 a year in annual revenue. We have customers generating, over $10 million a year in revenue. That's correct. So the question was, there's no other data they have to provide. And for 98% of our customers, that's true, unless we have a problem validating identity. So they don't have to upload any other statements or tax information or anything else because we're able to connect to all of it automatically. And most of our larger merchants, they use QuickBooks or Xero or one of the accounting platforms, so we can pull the data that way too. Anybody else? Oh, yes? So the question is how we get the data from the accounting platforms like QuickBooks. So QuickBooks is migrating all of their customers into the cloud, whether they're signing up on the cloud or whether they're syncing with the cloud. If you want to get a new version of QuickBooks, you have to be sharing data. So we use Intuit's APIs to get access to that data in real time. Yes? You see, so how do we identify other information that may not be in the sources that we have, like liens and judgments? So some of that you'll see in the credit report. You won't see all of it. For customers over a certain size, we do file liens, and we do a lien search, so we'll find that information before we give them access to capital, but that's a very small percentage of the time. Well, you're assuming that we're using bank balance information, and we're not. We're actually using the underlying transaction detail, and we're isolating those transactions that we can use to generate a proxy for revenue. We're also triangulating data across multiple sources. Most of the time, our customers are going to add more information than this. No, because we're not really running it on a balance. That's not how the model works.
Thanks so much.
Sure, thanks.